will inshallah start our rally now with recitation by Dr. Ahmed.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ahmed. I will just paraphrase the translation of those ayahs from Surah Al-Saf, very appropriate ayat. You know, we are in the financial camp going on there. I will now invite members of our youth from Mass Youth, Sister Kashmir Mariam and Sister Aisha. You know, the youth and sisters have been special target in Burma, so it's very appropriate that our sisters are here in great numbers, inshallah.
Brother. Assalamu alaikum, my name is Kashmir Mariam, and the poem that I'm going to perform now talks a little bit about Palestine and all other countries that are undergoing persecution. But right now we all know that the UN says that the Burmese people are the most persecuted people in the world, so this also goes out to the Burmese people. They tell you to fear me, when all that I fear is God, and all that I try to do is good, but their system is failing. A nation built on the eradication of the natives, so how then could they identify with a Palestinian when it is American banks that recline on baby purple fingers rising from the rubble somewhere in the West Bank? They tell you to fear me, someone halfway between the West and the East, someone that wakes in the spring of revolution and is the nucleus that sleeps in the cells of Guantanamo Bay, and believe that the silenced voices in its detention ground will be enough to speak through centuries, and its sound will have a shape unseen to unrelated eyes because it covers itself with a cape. Its face unrecognized because his facial hair grows down to the nape. The same one Jesus fashioned and the same one that Muslims are stigmatized for having. But the transition into manhood comes at a price, and if you believe in the resurrection of Christ, then you see how high a real man can rise. They tell you to fear me, when I come from a nation of soldiers built from their nation, so thank you, but no thank you, because we surrender to no man. We carry unborn martyrs in our wombs and drop bombs in here, because all that we blow up is minds in minefields. We carry marks on our foreheads that shine like torches, aiding the tortured. Marks of prostration, as my Lord is the only one that can free us with emancipation. They tell you to fear me, when they come into our lands, urinate on our dead, watering seeds of revenge, telling their people that their sons are fighting for honor when the only liberty they have is the one France gave. As if African poverty is what led this country into prosperity, stripping strength of its freedom and serving it in banquets in white houses to feed the weaker. Then they tell you to fear the believer. But cries don't just emanate from voice boxes. They resonate in Afghan caves where innocent babies with blue eyes are raised. They resonate in Manhattan penthouses that house both luxury and misery. They resonate in Burma. They resonate in Burma. They resonate in Kashmir, where the mountains shelter victims of territorial dispute, and the Himalayas weep monsoon rains as their sons are divided into four, each given to each part of the neighboring lands, and the last remaining in Kashmir, where I come from. We are one race and four faces. We are one face and four races. Cries emanate from newspapers in white ink, written in between each line, yearning to scream at you, screaming to tell you that the only thing that they fear is the truth. And they tell you to fear me. I am the voice that they never saw coming. I am the shadow that they never heard galloping. I am the truth that their sickness blocked their noses from smelling. I am the Palestinian mu'adhin that calls to what they cannot touch or alter as he calls on the altar. I am his halal kosher neck and his bloodline chopped by an Israeli axe, only to be raised in ranks of his neck extended in beauty in the hereafter. And his voice is still calling you to prayer. Hayya ala salah. And his voice is still calling you to success. Hayya ala falah. I am the one that the leaders fear and that the people revere. This is the new African Abyssinian slave. This is who they call brainwashed and deranged. This is who they bring over in drones and boats, and that the media uses and abuses to create fear in their own people. This is the ummah that sits on thrones of equality. This is who you would love if they didn't teach you to fear. This is the stranger that walks by you every day, the bizarre believer that believes in the normal. This is a chameleon, the saved species, because it comes in so many colors and races. It is protected by its cross-cultural face. This is a reader, an educator, a believer. This is the worshipper of the architect of life. This is the tsunami that the West swept under Aladdin's carpet. This is who fought Jafar with 1,000 princes of Arabia and stood for 1,000 nights in remembrance of one God. They ravage our lands, then they call us savages, waging war against unarmed babies in playpens, but vowels and consonants empower us, so we will speak out until we are so blue in the face. We are Avatar. Our smiles bows and our words arrows. We are the indigenous followers of Muhammad, peace be upon him. But we are not a fantasy, we are the reality. We are tigers that never tire from learning. We raise scholars in cradles who have to wear boxing gloves instead of mittens, kufis in cots and graduation gowns instead of diapers, whose fathers have to guard them with baby milk and snipers. Because no matter how many amendments are in the US Constitution, you can't amend genocide and give life back to the dead. This is the one that sides with only justice, because by default is incapable of just sitting on the fence. This is the belief that goes beyond the dollar and the pence. This is the cause and this is the consequence. This is the one who you should not fear. This is for Burma, and this is the Muslim. This is the Muslim. This is the Muslim.
On the side, you have
Thank
to leave
you.
this space empty.
I am the Rohingya Muslim. I am the Rohingya Muslim. I am the Rohingya Muslim. Who am I? Who are you? Who is he and who is she? Who am a defender of peace. I'm a descendant of he, Adam. I'm a descendant of she. How are I? Who am I? I'm you. I am her. I am him. The fact is, there is a disease in society, and like every other disease, this disease breeds from the time that the son of Adam silently stood by and witnessed his brothers die, and one by one. And the time had come, and the wolf was done, and he was the last one standing, and the wolf didn't even need to try and eat him. He had already been served. The fact is
There is a disease in society, and like every other disease, this disease breeds from the time that the son of Adam said his brother was just another. But how can I say it? It's like saying blood cells with no blood to carry it, blood with no heart to pump it, a heart with no ribs to protect it. How can I say it? It's like saying eyes with no tears to clean it, a smile with no teeth to complete it, a hug with no arms. Just imagine a body with no soul breathing, and this was the brother who was just another, crying for his sister, dying for his brother, screaming and dreaming a dream of freedom. Freedom, freedom. But you should know, brother, freedom can never be given. It can only ever be taken away. A wise man once said that the world is not a dangerous place because of those who do evil. It's because of those who look on and do nothing. I'm listening, and I can't hear any voices. I'm listening, and all I can hear is a deafening silence, a statement of alliance, a statement of defiance against who? Against ourselves. Who am I? Who are you? Who is he and who is she? Who am a defender of peace. I'm a descendant of he, Adam, I'm a descendant of she. How are I? Who am I? Am you, I am her, I am him, I am the Rohingya Muslim. I am the Rohingya Muslim. I am the Rohingya Muslim.